Okay, so we watched a film called The Martian.
Without press passes.
Without press passes.
Can you please give us press passes whoever's listening to this?
God, are you listening? So, we watched The Martian. We paid full price for it.
Fuck off.
From the cinema.
I definitely did. It's wrong.
I know, right?
I watched it on a Chinese stream.
Chinese stream?
Yeah.
You love those Chinese streams.
The people mainly I love.
In the stream.
Streaming.
Whoa!
I love streaming them, you know what I mean?
Always coming out with the outrageous comments.
You guys are too outrageous. Too outrageous for radio. That's why we're on the internet. So, okay, just so you know, we no longer spoil movies. We are going to talk about the movie now, and then we will warn you, because at the end of the show, we're gonna get into more spoilery territory. But we'll warn you, you can switch off. If you don't mind, you can continue listening. If you've already seen it, you can continue listening. Your life is golden. We keep you strictly 100 here on Bangkok Radio Swayze.
99.
Let's talk about the
0.9%.
Do they not say 100 anymore? Is it 99? Is that the new?
I'm just being honest.
I thought you were giving a J. Rude the damage lyric.
No, I'm just I'm keeping that 0.1% to myself.
That's fair enough.
Oh, okay.
The masses don't get that.
Okay.
So awesome.
Matt Damon.
Matt, alright.
What a delicious face.
He has a beautiful face.
What a delicious face.
Matt Damon is great. He's likable as hell.
He is. He's a bit of a Mars baby himself.
What is that true?
I mean, in your opinion. Slander.
Okay, so the plot of The Martian, if you haven't seen it, or if you have and you just were like, I don't remember, is...
Why would anyone flail like that? Just being like, oh my god, but I'm about to listen to this podcast about this, and I don't even know what it's about.
I feel like last lady at prom. What? Okay, so the story is... There are space people on Mars.
Wrong.
Wrong people.
Anyway, what's the...
There's astronauts, like...
There's a few Mars babies.
There are astronauts on Mars, and they are doing crop stuff.
Aren't they cosmonauts?
No, that would be Russian astronauts. There are astronauts on Mars. They're doing regular space stuff. And then there's a sandstorm, and they have to leave the planet. In the process of leaving, the most famous astronaut gets hit by a piece of space rock or spaceship rubble, and he's thrown away, and they make the correct decision to leave him behind before they all die.
It was racial though. That was a little bit strange.
I don't know.
Because he was a Mars baby.
Because you didn't get that.
No, I didn't get that.
No,
that was
you didn't.
I in fact, there weren't any black people.
Please go
in
on.
Mars.
Please go on. Don't know why. Don't know why Sam feels so strongly about it.
I just do. What? When you said the most famous astronaut, you meant because it was Matt Damon?
Because it was Matt Damon.
Okay.
So astronauts leave. Matt Damon is left behind. As a concept, he is then alone on Mars for X amount of time. We'll save that for the spoilers. and then X happens at the end of the film.
I mean, yeah.
That's the film.
Really?
That's the plot.
That's the plot.
That's as much as we're going to give away.
So we can play with the fact that they're on Mars.
What did you think of the plot?
In non-spoiler or spoiler?
No
mode?
Spoilers.
Non-spoiler speak.
Okay.
Did you like the story?
Such a new concept.
It's not that new.
Spoilers.
It's actually...
It's pretty new.
It's all movie reviews up
It's
until
almost basically a subplot to Interstellar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Essentially.
Because there's a spoiler to Interstellar we're not going to get into.
We're not going to get into that now. So we're not going to...
Where they go to Mars.
Okay, we did get into it. Alright.
Well, that was the first... And I'm sure it's the same thing that you guys thought as well. When I first saw the poster for this, I was like, why are they showing an old poster for Interstellar?
No. Okay, so I didn't think that.
You didn't think that? Just alone.
I thought
especially because
you felt
Matt Damon emotions.
Because I thought like the big words next to Matt Damon's face saying "The Martian" implied that this wasn't in fact a poster for Interstellar.
I was confused,
especially because the main character in Interstellar was Matthew McConaughey.
But you guys definitely thought it had something like to do with Interstellar.
Definitely not. No, definitely not.
No, there was for a minute as a joke I did
in this podcast.
But then just now.
Yeah.
But in real life, no, I never did. Why, Hassan? You obviously didn't.
So you guys,
because you have to be a complete mong to think something that stupid.
So you guys,
Yeah.
Okay.
Carry on.
So
Go on.
You didn't.
No.
You didn't.
Almost certainly not.
No.
Whatever you're about to say. Unless it's banged your mom.
I don't know what's happening.
All right. So
Hassan.
when I saw the front cover, I instantly had
Sorry, of what? The Martian.
of The Martian.
Okay.
I instantly had a flashback of a memory of a porno that I did
Right.
with Benjamin's mum. I don't know why Matt Damon's delicious face just set me right back into that moment.
So you reckon it's the
and
porno?
I'm just saying, Ben,
I don't know why.
the leaked copy of that on the internet, when you saw the picture, it didn't make you think of the porno that I did with your mum.
When I saw
with
that,
her laughing about you having a mongoloid face, had nothing to do with that.
when I saw those leaked images of that porno, I did think of Interstellar because he figures out a way to do, and massive spoiler, he sort of figures out time travel in that film.
Yeah, he does.
So I was like, I wish I could figure out time travel and go back to a time before I saw these pictures.
So the plot is shit, really.
Really? Did you not like
Are we
it?
talking about The Martian?
The Martian.
I like the idea of the plot. I don't think it's executed very well.
So did you feel sort of
Sorry, Ben.
unsatisfied?
No, sorry. The feeling is mutual.
Yeah. Were you sort of disappointed coming out of the film as I was? Partially disappointed.
Oh, I was mega disappointed.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was gonna save it for the end, whether you liked it or not. But really, I really didn't like this.
Really? You
It was
didn't like
mega
it?
disappointing.
Okay, yeah.
I thought it was average. But
Yeah.
the thing is, did you see it in 3D?
No.
No.
I saw it in 3D.
Oh,
What
why?
do you think?
It's really 3D shit.
Yeah.
but it is in 3D, bro.
Yeah.
It's in 3D. So there was one bit at the beginning where the sandstorm's happening and there's all this sand flying about and you're like, whoa, that sand is in my face. But then after that, you're like...
And then I saw at the end there was a bit where I'll stop playing with that. There was a bit where there were nails floating around someone's head, and they looked like those nails would be in 3D.
Yeah.
Because they just looked kind of weird on the screen.
Or was that when
When
he
they were
was
filming the videos?
Yeah, when they were. There was my person who I went to see the film with really wanted to see it in 3D.
So
and I
the
talked to
person
him
that
about
you went with sort of
a
a
person.
So did you meet up with a person and then go to watch the movie with
it.
him?
Have you
or-
ever heard of Grindr?
Grinder?
But you know the thing is, regardless of which homosexual friend Ben,
Which it definitely was.
Yeah.
Go on.
Okay.
but like it like we're not spoiling it by saying that when he's on the planet, when he's on Mars, he then finds ways. The whole point of the film is him struggling to survive.
Yeah, I mean that's
Struggling-
in the
yeah, he
trailer,
finds ways
you
to
know.
survive.
basically.
He finds ways to survive.
I thought that was quite interesting.
Well, no, I thought. Okay, so when you saw. Okay, so my problem with the film is that it's bloated. Like,
Yeah.
there are scenes of him on Mars, and when you see. So, have you guys seen Castaway?
Yeah.
Because that's as close. I think that's the closest film I can think of. Maybe Gravity, because that's also set in space.
It's Castaway, really.
I would say this is Castaway, and on Castaway worked because you have, and I think Matt Damon is arguably like the closest person to Tom Hanks as you'll ever get, the most likable person in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Right? I'd say they're both really, really likable. And my problem is when you watch Castaway, you get the sense that this guy is completely alone, and he's so alone, and you're following him through like peaks and troughs, and he's like, wow, this is, and like that scene where he builds fire and he's fucking happy as shit.
Yeah.
You're happy as shit with him. Matt Damon is alone on Mars, and you never really feel like he's alone at all because of all the other dicks in the movie that they keep cutting back to, and they're just constantly like fucking talking and having a nice time.
Yeah.
And you never actually get like just 10 minutes of him completely by himself.
If I could interject,
Please don't.
Amen.
Hassan, you may.
Thank you. No, basically, the film it goes on that whole idea of human spirit, and that we're all kind of empathetic naturally and stuff. And I think that's what it's not about. Even though he's alone a million miles away, he ends up building like even stronger connections while he's away from Earth because of this altruistic kind of human nature. And I thought that's what the film was saying, because I thought like, what the fuck, you're right, he didn't feel alone the whole film, and that was because everyone was fucking talking to him like Michael, what's his name? Michael.
But they could have, I think they could have, if they had just shown less of what was happening on Earth, and it's sort of like implied that it's happening, and you just had him completely by himself. I mean, they could cut back to Earth every so often, but if they just showed him by himself more, you'd get more of a feeling for what that would be like.
You didn't really get that solitude feeling.
No, you didn't get any solitude feeling at all.
But that's what I had about the film. Like, to be honest, for me, a lot of the middle bit of the film with Matt Damon cultivating and all that crap, like I really felt like that could have just been a montage. Like that whole bit of the film, I was like, that's not interesting to watch. I mean, like watching him dig and then do this. I mean, it was interesting for like a few minutes. It was like a gimmick, and then I was like, that it could have just been a montage. It's also, really dragged out.
So that leads me on to another problem I had with the film. The best science fiction deals with problems that human beings of today can actually sort of consider. So like you have films where science fiction for the most, like a lot of it, and I imagine this film would be the premise and the basis is loneliness, and you're meant to, and all human beings understand loneliness, but instead this film was like, we're going to focus on science and like realistic, weird, kind of made up and shitty, but science. And it's like, I mean, you're watching sci-fi, you expect a bit of science. But for the whole film,
fledged,
to be just them chatting shit about science. And there's a scene where one of the space engineers is just like, we're going to have to reroute the OS and jump into the code and sort of adapt it. And then one guy was like, in English, please? And I was like, you're a fucking astronaut. I understood what she said, and I use fucking Internet Explorer. And I know what she just said. She's going into the operating system. OS X, it's Macintosh. And this guy's like in English.
Space travel. Their spaceship looked banging.
The film. Okay, I will say this. Looked amazing. When they showed clips of him in Mars looked fucking like beautiful.
All the cinematography was pretty good in space. Like when they were floating around and everything. Like,
well, that like going on to the.
What was that spoiler that you just said at minute 28?
Going on to the effects, the visual effects. That was like agreeing with both of you. So actually, my point is pretty unvalid.
It's mute. Go ahead, Ben.
So I was going to go on to the.
It was great. It was great. That's it.
So
you liked the film, basically, yeah?
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I thought it was okay. To be honest, like as soon as that came out, I kind of hated it straight away because I had super high expectations and didn't think it was going to be like a sort of MacGyver in space type film. But then after I thought about it for a little while, I was like, actually, it was okay compared to films, generally out this year and things like that. But for when I came out immediately, I was like, no, I hate that film. I didn't like it at all. But Ben, you're saying you hate it.
I don't like it. I really don't like it. I think it's a really bad film. I will go. Alright, let's talk about the performances. I wish Michael Pena was in it more.
Yeah, he can't really do any roles.
He's amazing. He's so funny. He's only in 2 scenes and he's really funny in both of them. Matt Damon, obviously really good actor. But I think there was no. Nothing, everything just sort of worked out. Even when there was a problem, 2 seconds later they were like, oh, here's a solution for this problem. And you're just like, well, then what was the point in having the problem in the first place?
It felt like Matt Damon wrote the film, if you know what I mean.
Do you think so?
It just felt like that.
With Ben Affleck?
Well, so
maybe, yeah.
I think the things and these are spoilers right here.
Well,
when he takes off his shirt.
Okay,
that's a big spoiler.
Right.
No, really, when he takes off his shirt twice.
What?
I counted.
Hassan was counting.
The thing is that it seemed like he might have asked Ridley Scott or even demanded from Ridley Scott, I need to have half naked scenes here.
Yeah.
because they were like
Because
purely.
the guy looked good.
He looked good. He looked delicious, as
You
I was
heard
saying.
that.
Yeah,
I
but
did hear that, yeah.
but really, you didn't need it. You did like
Yeah,
I was there like why?
They kind
Why
of
did you
did,
just,
though.
why?
They needed it at least once.
Maybe once, but like when he was fucking like injured at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, of course, you got to be half naked to deal with your injury. But then there was like one moment where he finished like doing something in his plantation. Then he just took his top off and just walked around.
I mean, that was just...
And then there was end scene.
Yeah.
And I was like...
That was just for you.
Why did you have a
That was literally for
that was a bonus
Hassan.
scene for you.
So I could say the delicious remark
That was just a
for
little
a fourth time.
From that day.
All right, what did you guys think
delicious.
of the? What did you guys think of the music?
Music.
Do you even remember
music
it?
was uninspiring for a space film.
Uninspiring.
It was
is
really
exactly the word I would use to describe.
Yeah, I mean, for a space film.
You.
Thank you.
I watched this film like 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
The music was
Forgettable.
Yeah,
very forgettable, it seems.
The problem with it is that it was all disco.
Mm.
Ah, yeah, I do remember the music.
Yeah. Peaks and troughs there.
So the
Let's delete all of that because it's got me fucking like screaming.
the problem is that the music. So the whole way through the film,
It was that
you have every character complaining about disco,
Yeah.
and then that was all the fucking music they played, and you're just like, well, don't. If every character in the film hates it, what makes you think I want to fucking hear it?
And they picked the baitest.
And the
shittest
stuff.
And the most obvious disco.
Yeah.
And it was like off the back of a joke, basically. It
Yeah.
was one joke that he
Yeah.
made, and then it just was the running theme for the whole film.
Yeah.
This is going to be music, and he's going to say this joke about 4 or 5 times.
Honestly, the music was complete garbage. You could have, and there's like sci-fi is a lot of the time is really important. The sound and the music is really, really
What
important.
music did you want? Did you want?
Orchestral.
I wanted this song.
Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow.
It's already taken me.
And the Oscar for shittest soundtrack.
Shittiest guy.
Shittiest guy on the
Shittiest guy
soundtrack.
award goes.
But so I mean, sound was
Yeah, no,
good.
it was just awful. The
Visual
music was
effect-
so plain and rubbish.
Visual effects were
Amazing. Yeah.
I think that was pretty much the only thing that made it a memorable film.
Mm-hmm.
No, I wouldn't even say it was a memorable film.
So what are your wrapping
could
this
have
up,
made it a memorable
what are your
film.
final thoughts on The Martian?
It's average.
Average.
Pass. I would say
Pass.
pass.
I'm going to give it 10 out of 10. I really loved it.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Alright, so
Which is not a spoiler.
it's fully a spoiler.
It's
That's
obvious.
fully
It's
a
obvious. Why are you right now?
because it's fully of course you can't say that.
It's spoilers.
No, we aren't.
I just said we are.
No, yeah, but we're not.
Now we are.
No, we aren't.
I just said a spoiler, bro.
We're well into spoilers.
No, we're not.
It's,
Even
it's
into
a
spoilers.
spoiler.
No, but
it was
yeah, but
so obvious.
yeah, but it's no. You can't.
I mean,
That's the definition. That's the whole reason we started the spoiler section.
This is the spoiler section.
No, it's not.
Why not?
Because you have to end the show. We have to do the whole. You can find us on iTunes. Stop listening now if you don't want to hear spoilers thing.
Over now, bro. That's gone. That ship sailed, bro.
so
No.
are we gonna
Edit
out
it. We'll
that
just
whole-
edit it.
What we're gonna do? We're
We'll
gonna
edit
edit
all of
out
this.
all of it. I was just gonna say we'll just edit that one thing that you said, and then leave all that in, so people are like, "I missed it. What did they say?" But we'll have
It's cheese!
and then also at that time,
Just write down
We'll
the
have
that it is now
it's
and
cheese
delete
again.
everything.
Okay, so
What the fuck are we gonna do with this whole lump of shit, man?
we're gonna have it, and it's gonna be beautiful.
Go into
We're
an
gonna
ad.
have
Let's
sound
do an ad.
effects
Let's go
over
into
it.
an ad. Let's go into an ad.
We're going to an ad.
No, let's end the
We're
show
gonna-
then. Fuck's sake.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Spoilers.
He took off his top.
Yeah,
That was a spoiler.
that was
because I was just sitting there guessing, trying to think.
Is he gonna take?
Like, what is his nipples gonna look like? What do they look like? Do you know what I mean? What are they gonna look like?
They look like
on Mars. Do they look different?
Like coins.
They look like perfect little coins.
Perfect little coins.
Like Roman coins.
Little Roman coins.
Like little Roman.
Do you ever get a coin?
But it was sorry. I wanted to interrupt Ben's joke quickly.
There's an impressive chest.
Yeah, but no, I wanted to just cut him off completely. But I wanted to also mention that about the take off the shirt thing. Isn't that necessary for the later scene where they show that he's all decrepit and?
Oh yeah.
So that it was necessary that he takes his shirt off.
Yeah, I guess to show the contrast.
At the end of the film, Matt Damon is completely decrepit, which I got the impression that wasn't actually Matt Damon because he had the towel.
It was CG, man. Part of it was CG, and part of it just wasn't him because you could never see his face.
Couldn't have a face.
You didn't see his face at all.
But like in The Machinist for Christian Bale,
yeah,
he was fucking in.
He went fully in.
I don't think that. Also, so I honestly got the impression that nothing really went wrong.
Yeah.
Like there was a scene where he's doing the plants and he's like, "Woo!" and he gets just blown up, and then the scene later he's just like, "Well, I guess I gotta fix that now." And then the next scene he fixed it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It was all really jokey, and at no point of him being alone on Mars with basically no prospect of ever going back home. Did he ever be like, "Oh, I'm kind of depressed and upset and scared"?
No, he was
like perfectly cash and happy-go-lucky the whole time.
The whole time,
like,
mega.
Apart from maybe the last bit where he's nearly dead, floating in space, and then even then you're like, he's gonna make it. He's gonna make it.
Yeah, but even then he was still busting jokes. Like even when his ship was rotating in space, floating, seconds away from possibly being rescued, but probably not because the rope was too short. He was still like, "Don't worry about it. It's cash. I'm just gonna pop this hole in my glove, and I'm just gonna Iron Man my way to you." And I was like,
literally says, "I want to be Iron Man."
Also, can I just say, Iron Man at that point would be about 100 years old.
He would.
Right? So no one's making Iron Man references that far in the future. No one's fucking busting.
Holy shit, that is like, a proper fuck up.
I'm not gonna be like fucking Citizen Kane my way out of here. Like fucking, or a lesser known film.
That's a continuity error right there, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I didn't even cut that.
What year was it, though?
No one. They didn't say.
They don't say.
Also, this could have probably been said during the regular episode, not the spoiler part of the episode. What the fuck was up with that Sol shit? It's Sol 47. Why didn't they just say Day 47?
Oh, yeah.
Why did they have to say some dumb word?
I imagine that's because the days are different. It's not 24 hours.
Oh, the days are different on Mars?
So
the days different on Mars? Who gives a fuck? Yeah, you still call them days.
True.
I'm still from fucking...
So at least Mars Day.
Call it Mars Day. MD.
Soul. When I first heard it, I was like, that's some fucking...
I played Dark Souls, and the currency is souls.
Yeah.
So when they were like, Soul 200, I'd be like, that's not that many souls.
I thought about you thinking about that.
But I guess that
joke's with Ziad when he listens to this episode.
When you first see that whole where it goes like Soul 1, yeah. Then you're gearing yourself up like there's going to be a lot of science.
That's not even science. That's just the day for sun. That's the word for sun in Spanish.
It took me a moment, and I was like, "It's science time." Because I'm confused right now.
It's like sci-fi. So they do save him in the end, and then he becomes a lecturer, and the kids in his lecture are wearing fucking hats. I was really angry about that. These guys are in a fucking NASA lecture, and he's a dude wearing his cap. There are like 3 probably Iranian dudes wearing their sunglasses on their head and leather jackets. And I'm like, you're in fucking a space lecture. What are you doing?
Are you taking note of that for the racial commentary?
Yes, I am.
And we're not editing that.
No, we're not
editing it. That's staying in.
Yeah, because it's true.
True.
Can we change it to Persian?
No, we can't.
Because that's less, but more understandable.
Right.
They were wearing sunglasses on their goddamn head.
Who were the Iranian guys that you said?
Persian guys.
Can we wrap this up?
Yeah. Okay. So my main problem. I said I would stop doing that, didn't I?
You did.
So my main problem was
slurs.
every time he had a problem, they solved it a minute later, and you're like, what's the point in having the problem then? Because if it's just solved in a minute, fuck it, don't have it at all. If they spent like 10 minutes, if they had less problems and longer time solving them, they'd be more tense.
Well, I think it was kind of going along with the basic structure of like most Hollywood films, on that there's got to be a problem like a kind of like I saw one lecture on films, and he was basically saying in your script, it was some bullshit lecturer guy. He was like, in your script, you need to have 5 and 5 oh shit moments and 1 eureka moment or some shit like that.
Right.
And they kind of was following that kind of.
Except they had a eureka moment every 2 fucking scenes.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was more of a comedy, to be honest, the film, because there was so many like cheese nerd space jokes that
they should have gone all out.
Yeah, they should have just fully finished off and made it a comedy.
Ridley Scott hasn't really made any good films recently.
Gladiator.
Probably sad about his brother.
He makes it, which is not a spoiler. A spoiler. A spoiler. A spoiler.